Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video on BeamNG.Drive. Today I'm going to be going over the changes and updates in the update 0.35, I believe it's what we're at right now. Like I've always said before, my life is very busy, so I'm sorry if this video is a day late after the update. And I know I don't post much anymore, but I don't really have a ton of time, honestly. But I promise you, I will always post videos on the BeamNG updates because you guys need to stay updated about that. Anyways, the reason why we're here on the Hiroshi Raceway map is because they've added a new area to it. So we used to just have this track area over here and the oval and all that stuff. I think there's a rock crawling course out in the woods somewhere over there. But over here, we didn't used to have anything. This used to be just woods. And as you can see, they have added a drag strip here. Kind of looks like the West Coast drag strip in some ways, but yeah, it's very nice. It's a very nice addition to this map. Now, I personally don't really play the Hiroshi Raceway because, honestly, it's kind of a boring map. I like maps that are more realistic, like city maps, like West Coast or East Coast or Utah or stuff like that. So I don't end up playing this because I'm more of like when I play the game by myself, I like to do a lot of police chases. I'm not as big a fan of racing. So, yeah, I end up playing on those other maps. But, yeah, this is a pretty cool addition. You can see it says Hiroshi Dragway, all that. I will mention they also did a couple tweaks and updates to West Coast, but nothing really that major, so I'm not going to bother going to West Coast to show you because that would take way too long. But, yeah, they tweaked a few things in West Coast, but it wasn't like any huge updates or new areas, so it's not really worth going over. Anyways, as you can see, we have the Hiroshi Sunburst spawned in here, and this is the vehicle they remastered. There was no new vehicle for this update, but they did remaster the Sunburst. As you can see, we now have a wagon configuration of the Sunburst, which this is actually really awesome. Apparently, BeamNG said the community has been asking for a wagon version of the Sunburst for a long time, and I can see why, because it looks really good, honestly. So here's our wagon version of the Sunburst. As you can see, you have this regular door handle here, and then you have kind of a weird one on the side there. Don't see that very often. But yeah, and the interior looks pretty much the same. Although there was some design tweaks to the interior where they just kind of updated the textures because it was getting a little outdated looking. So as you can see, the gauges and all that do look a little bit better than they did before. And we do have a slightly nicer interior. The other huge update to the Sunburst is going to be under the hood, and that is the engine layout. So as you can see, I don't know if you remember the old Sunburst, but the old Sunburst kind of just had like a plastic, like black looking block in here for an engine. They really didn't put that much detail into the old engines. As you can see, they've completely remastered the engine bay, and we have a lot more detail in here now, which is very nice to see. I always like things being realistic. And as you can see, the engine is now a flat 4-cylinder, so they also added a flat 4 drivetrain to this, which is also a nice thing. There's also quite a few new configs for the Sunburst. I'll just go ahead and show you that real quick. So yeah, we have a wagon config for pretty much every level. We got the police thing here. I think we might have had that already. There's a police interceptor now as well, which I think we already had this before. And we used to have, I think, a Sunburst with the Furwood police skin on it, but I think they removed that for some reason. I don't see that here anymore. And I believe there is a West Coast police skin, like the Belasco City for this. I'll have to see about that. But yeah, as you can see, they updated the skin for the Street Tune. There's a couple new configs, like the Atasked, the Pro Drift. They've now added rally versions for the wagons and updated the rally skins for the sedans. And I think the track attack might be new as well. Either that or it's just an updated version of the old hill climb config. Anyways, let me go ahead and spawn in this police config. And I believe there is a way to get a Belasco City skin on this. Yeah, you can put... So there's no Belasco City police config that you can just spawn in, but if you do really want one, you can just change the skin in the vehicle editor, so that's kind of nice. So yeah, we have all that. And they've also changed the handles, because I believe the old Sunburst sedans just had normal door handles on the back doors, but now they have this thing like the wagons. And it's worth mentioning, if you do like police chases like me and you want to use a wagon to do it, there is no base wagon police configs that you can just spawn in like for the sedans. But you can always, what you can always do is spawn in a wagon and then just change the skin in the vehicle editor. So that's pretty much all to do with the Sunburst. This was a smaller update, but it's nice to see a vehicle remastered once in a while, because we get a lot of new vehicles, and honestly, I don't think we need a whole lot of new vehicles. We already have so many in the game, so I'm glad they're focusing on remastering the existing ones. The other major update that happened was the radial menu. So it used to be when you pressed, I play on a keyboard, some of you might play on a controller, but when you press the escape button on the keyboard, it would bring up the radial menu. But now when you press escape, it brings up this main menu, and you can choose from these options up here. So now to get to the radial menu, you press E on the keyboard, the letter E, and that brings up the new radial menu. So we got two sides. You got vehicle options, which is doing different stuff on your vehicle, like turning on the lights, the vehicle features, which is, doing all this, and the cruise control. So those are the vehicle options. The other side is free roam options. So you have options like you can go into photo mode, you can do fun stuff to your vehicle, which fun stuff used to be one of the options on the old one, now it's here. You got quick actions such as, these are new actually, where you can flip your vehicle upright. So that's if you damage your vehicle and you flip it over and you don't want to reset, you can always flip it upright with this button. You can repair your vehicle from here. You can recover your vehicle to the last road you were on if you flew off the road. You can set home, of course, and teleport home and repair. There's also the manage vehicles area, which these were also a thing before. It's just different. And then, of course, you got the traffic menu where you can spawn police. This is basically for spawning in AI. And then you got the AI menu for chase me, flee, follow me, stuff like that. So yeah, this is kind of nice. Honestly, I like what they did with this, because now when you press escape, you get the main menu instead, which makes more sense if you ask me. And the new radial menu just looks a lot more clean and newer. The old one kind of looked like it had been around since the beginning of BeamNG, which it kind of had. And BeamNG is technically a 12-year-old game at this point, because I think it was released for the first time in 2013. So yeah, it's nice to have a new radial menu finally. The old one was starting to look kind of old and tired. Other than that, there was a couple other small updates, such as they did do a slight update to the, I believe it's the vehicle loading things on the loading screen, so now it helps you load into a map faster. They also added a new world builder tool where you can build buildings and customize buildings better. I personally don't build any maps or anything like that, so that's not useful to me, but for any of you map builders, that might be useful. And I know there's a new thing where when you go on a race, there's now like a audio voice that can coach you around the turns, like tell you what degree of turns is ahead, when the turns are coming up, and stuff like that. If you want more details on all this, I would go to the official BeamNG channel on YouTube and watch their videos. Whenever they do an update, they'll usually put out like a short 1.5 to 2 minute video for everything they update. So if you want more information than I can give you, I would go over there and check that out, because that'll show you, their videos will show you even more details than I can tell you about. But anyways, that's the major things from the update 0.35. I am really happy to have a Sunburst police config, and, well, not police config, the Sunburst wagons. That's really nice. We have the new Hiroshi Dragway, a couple updates to the West Coast map, a new world builder tool, and most of all, the new radial menu is very nice as well. One more thing I forgot to mention was that they did also update the Sunburst textures. You can see the tail lights are a little bit more kind of like chrome, stuff like that. We do have new, as you can see, the reverse lights on here actually, which this wasn't in the update, but the reverse lights are slow lights like on the Gavril 9. So that's kind of nice. As you can see, yeah, when you turn on the headlights too, it's the same way. It's like the gradual things like in it would be in real life. So I think they're starting to add that to more vehicles where stuff works gradually now, which is a nice feature. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, if you want more details, I would go over to the official BeamNG channel and watch their videos on this stuff, because they're the developers. They would know a lot more than I do. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.